Good morning and Merry Christmas, everyone. For those of you that celebrate, we are on day one of the brand new week, wrapping up the holiday event, and we have quite a bit of sleep points to collect as a result of the end of the holiday event. So 1,325, which brings our total to 17,518. So doing pretty good on the sleep point front. And since it is Monday, we have a long episode ahead of us. But before we get into it, and I forget, because I could very easily forget with everything we have going on today, let's grab our daily gift and ingredient ticket. I will definitely make use of this. And also, with how last night ended, I will be doing things a little bit out of order again today, as you'll see later on when we get to the breakfast part. So we're on session 149. 8.5 hours of sleep, almost exactly. I definitely didn't wake up at 8:30. I woke up at like 9:15, 9:20. So that's weird. I wonder how that happened. Huh. There's a lot of dozing time right there at the end. Not really sure how that happened. I mean, either way, we got a full 8.5 hours, so we got the maximum drowsy score we can have anyway. So it doesn't really matter. It's just kind of interesting. Got a slumbering type sleep, which doesn't matter for the event. It will be balanced. Hopefully we can break the 60 million, 65 million at least. Barely broke 60, so we got 61.3 million. And we got a full board. We actually got a 3-star sleep. That's interesting. That very possibly could be something new. Yo, that looks cool. A top belly Arbok. All right. I think that was 7. Yes, it was. We got Togepi, Ghastly, Spheal, Metapod, Spheal, Geodude, and Cubone. A lot of Metapod this event. Kind of weird. There's 7 of them, so that still leaves 2 new sleep styles, and we know the Arbok is 1. 13,888 Dream Shards just for the 1. That is why Luck Incense were very powerful last night, really, for this whole event. Actually kind of surprised that I've almost got all the Arbok sleep styles. Let's see what else we got that is new. New Magnemite, so that's going to be our 3-star sleep style. Unlinked Sleep, and another 10,000 Dream Shards on that, which is good because I spent some Dream Shards off screen yesterday. It is kind of interesting that Magnemite doesn't have a top belly. It'd be really easy to do it, but I guess because it can't actually rest on the belly, they didn't want to make one. Even though you could just have it lay on the ground. We did get a hungry Togepi. Yikes, that's the only hungry we got. It is unfortunate, because really the Magnemite is the one I really want to take home. I already have 2 pretty decent Togepi line Pokemon. I did put in some work on the Arbok before, but like I said, the Magnemite is really what I want to take home. That is the main thing I want to take home out of all of this. So let's see what we can do. First things first, let's give it, I don't know why the game is being really slow today. Let's give it a regular Pokebiscuit, see if that gets us a critical capture. Nope, no dice. And then, nope, I don't want to give it another Pokebiscuit, at least not yet. Let's give it the bonus biscuit. I cannot get my tapping accuracy Only +3. And it's all full, so it doesn't matter anyway. I was debating on whether I wanted to feed it more, but I guess it doesn't matter. So it looks like, unfortunately, for the final day of the event, we aren't going to be taking anything home. I'm really not even interested in feeding the Togepi a regular biscuit, just because, like I said, I have 2 really good ones already. So, not super worried about it at this point. So no new friends today. But we still got the Atop Belly Ekans, which, you know what? I know someone in the comments was saying they really needed Magnemites candies. It ain't much, but we're going to send it out anyway, because it's rare. So we should have got 2,493 research XP, which is enough to hit rank 41, which gives us a Poke Biscuit. I'm surprised they're still giving out just regular Poke Biscuits at this point. Dream Cluster, I think it's an M, and an Energy Pillow. And then we got 25,596 total Dream Shards. I did forget, I meant to put as many Dream Shard bonus Pokemon on my team as I could before I went to sleep, and I completely forgot about that. But that said, the shop is still lit up red. That rhymed. I didn't mean to do it that time. It's probably because we have the Good Sleep Day bundle is available now. So if you're interested in that, it's available. I'm not interested in it because it's way too many diamonds for me to spend. But let's go ahead and move on to choosing our next research site. I already know where we're gonna go. Mainly because I kind of feel bad for what happened last time. But before we get into all that, we've got the weekly summary that I always forget about, and I just remembered right before I mentioned it. We did make it to Master 11 with 613,000 final strength. Gains from berries 339,000, which is down, but that's expected. The last 2 days we only had ingredient gatherers on the team, not that big a deal. Gains from cooking are up, probably way up, 274,000. So that is good, and that's probably because of all the Slowpoke tail salads that we made. We got 6 handy candies for it. I will definitely take that because we're going to use some here a little bit later. Sleep midpoint, I'm surprised lined up as much as it did. I actually got a pretty decent amount of sleep this week. For once. 71%. I'm actually just curious. Pokemon befriended. Only 22% of the Pokemon here have been befriended, but 71% of the sleep styles have been studied. But we are going to go to Snowdrop Tundra because I kind of felt bad. I didn't even think it all the way through when I asked you guys to vote last time on where you wanted me to go, and then y'all picked Snowdrop, and then I forgot that I was going to be leaving that week and not giving y'all a full week on Snowdrop. So we're going to do a full week on Snowdrop now. We know what berries we're going to get, and curries are actually a pretty good recipe for us. As you can see, I did switch out. We got 20 diamonds coming in right off the bat, which is good. I did switch out the team. 1 week rental period for the good camp set has ended. Makes sense. Switched out the team a little bit. You can see where we're going with this. So yeah, it's gonna be a really good week, but we're gonna get breakfast going first because my ingredient pouch is either full or almost full. And I also did a thing. I spent entirely too many diamonds on expanding my ingredient pouch, so I think it's at like 220 now. But there is one specific recipe that I know we can make, and I just have to remember how to make it. I forgot exactly what goes into it. Actually, did I? I think it's just a ton of fiery herbs. Let's see. It is this many fiery herbs and this many tails. And we're going to fill out the rest with mushrooms and little bit of cocoa. Actually, you know what? I want to do 2 cocoa, 2 eggs. I want to see how much strength eggs give. So let's see, 167 on the mushrooms, 151 for the cocoa, and 115 for the eggs. Okay, so cocoa is way more valuable than eggs. Good to know. 10,286 on the first cook of the grilled tail curry. That should put it to like level 8, I think. Nope, level 7. Unfortunately, didn't get extra tasty, but still a new recipe, still more diamonds. Now, I don't know if I'm going to be focusing on the grilled tail curry for the week. It would be nice to make it as much as we can because of how tough it's going to be here on Snowdrop. But I don't know that we can consistently get the tails we need. We could try. It's only 8 per cook. So it might be worth having Slowbro on the team just to get it every couple of days. Because I think Slowbro only averages about 5 or 6 tails a day. So it's not the best, but it might be worth it in the long run. Well, let's go ahead and collect from everybody real fast. Now that we know we've got curries, we can kind of put together a better team. Oh, hey, there's a tail right there. 2 of them. Good job, Celio. Maybe we can make the the grilled tail curry more than I thought. That puts us at basic 2 already, which is a pretty good start for Snowdrop, because we have historically not had the best luck here. I do have, yeah, 220 is my current ingredient space. Where is that Eevee at? Where did you run off to? Oh, it's hiding over here in the grass. There we go. All right. So now let's check. Do we have any new news? No new news, but we did get a new medal. Let's see what that's about. Oh, we got 3 new medals. 30 ice type studied, 100 poison type studied, and 50 ghost type studied. 10 diamonds, a dream cluster S, and a handy candy S. And then we have new notes for our brand new grilled tail curry, which gives us another 20 diamonds. Let's back it up. And then let's see what you guys were up to last night. Let's see what y'all found. 37 reports with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 doubled up. So that's almost exactly 25%. It's just shy only because there were 37 reports instead of 36, but right around 25%, which is good. That's what we like to see. And somebody's sending out that Ditto candy. Good job. Speaking of candy, let's see if we earned any more handy candies before I go do this. We did. We got 5 for the 7 incense. I forgot all about that. And what's that incense? Was that Slackoth? Yeah, Slackoth incense this week if we get to Master 2, which is not impossible. We might be able to get there. We're gonna have a pretty decent team, I think. I'm gonna take this week pretty seriously and try to just max out the rank on Snowdrop. We haven't done that really in the past. We've kind of understood that Snowdrop was going to be tough and haven't really pushed too much. But one thing I did yesterday, I used a lot of dream shards to candy boost a couple of my Pokemon up to a better level. I took the Toxicroak that we found, got that to level 25, and I also got this Rattata to level 25. So that took quite a bit of dream shards, but we do have enough handy candies. We have 7 right now, so we need 33. So I need to use 11 handy candies to give us enough to evolve this Rattata to Eradicate. And I'm going to go ahead and switch over to the team builder. Or actually, I'm going to go to the box first because I need to update. This Rattata is no longer a Rattata. It is now Eradicate. Eradicate. Ha. Fun play on words. There we go. Shiny Eradicate. Which actually looks really good. This is one of the better shinies. That darker red fur pattern. I like it. We leveled that up, or evolved it. So that's charge energy level 3. So anytime its main skill triggers, it will restore its own energy by 21, which automatically puts it up into the next tier of production. So with this one, typically I don't collect from berry gatherers too much, but with the ingredient finding down nature, I think it's probably going to be worth it to collect from this guy pretty often just to try to get that main skill to proc. We're not going to get too many ingredients from when we do, and the few ingredients we get will be apples, which could be helpful in some of these recipes. So not the worst. I think I will collect from this guy pretty regularly. And then if we're going to be making, ooh, that's the question, is what do we want to make consistently? Because that's going to determine who we need on the team. But I guess before we get to that, let's look at you. What do you need? You need to be level 33 to evolve. Yikes, maybe I should have put some candy boost on you. How far can we get? Not quite to level 33, I bet. No, we can't. So let's go and check this calculator and see. You are level 26. Let's click 25, up 1, and you need 211. And then I have 112 candies. So I want to be able to see all levels. To get to level 33 would take 23 extra handy candies, and that wouldn't leave me any to evolve it. So I don't think we're gonna do that just yet. I don't think we have, yeah, I don't think that's gonna work. So I think for now we just use the extra candies. I mean, realistically, we could probably use a little bit more. What would it take to get to level 30? I don't know that I want to use that many. It would take 91, which would only leave us with 21. I don't know that I want to use that many because we don't know how many we're going to have by the time it does get to level 33. And we're not really worried about bringing in sausage. So getting to level 30 is not that big a deal. So I think I am just going to use, let's see, we'll just get him to level 28. Puts us a little below 80, but it's not bad. And then we'll go back to the Pokemon box and we will fix that up. Where are we at? There you are. So it's now level 28. Cool. Then I think that's all we're really going to do for these guys for now. We do need to figure out a consistent recipe that we can make. I kind of want to leave the Eevee on the team because this is the one we're going to evolve. But I'm also unsure. I've been second guessing evolving the Espeon. The more I think about it, the more I kind of feel like Glaceon may actually be more beneficial just for the increased pot space. And this one does have a pretty high skill trigger chance once it gets to level 25. So I'm kind of thinking about, well, also plus the nature with main skill chance up. So I'm really thinking about maybe evolving this one into a Glaceon instead of an Espeon. I'm kind of thinking that might be more beneficial, but I'm not sure yet. So that's kind of where we're at with that one, but I do want to leave it on the team just for getting this sleep. What is it? The sleep requirement? What do they call it? The hours of sleep logged. Only need about 2 more days and it should be full and ready to evolve into an Espeon if I want to do that. So I guess in the next 48 hours, I need to decide what I'm going to do. But then as far as curries go, Slowpoke Tail Curry could actually be pretty easy. So I think just to see what happens, we might try it. Let's get Slowbro back on the team. And then let's go ahead and put our Gengar back on the team. The one we still need to level up a little more. I don't want to get him to level 30 yet, because I don't want the mushrooms to clog up our fiery herb gathering. I think we'll do this for now. I kind of think we're in a good place. I don't think we need to really level anything up. I mean, we could potentially level up the Eevee, but there's not much of a point other than getting it to level 25 just for the skill trigger chance. What would it take? Let's just double check real quick. I mean, we have plenty of candy thanks to Eevee Week, so we could, you know what, yeah, let's do it. There's no point in holding off. We're gonna have to do it eventually. It's going to be very beneficial for that skill trigger even before it's we evolve it. The ingredient magnet will help. It's not a bad skill to have. So why not? Skill trigger M with main skill chance up. Hopefully we can get a few ingredient magnet triggers and get some tails out of it at least. But this is looking like a solid team. I think we're in a really good place. Like I said, I am going to try to really push Snowdrop Tundra strength this week and see just how far we can get. We are at 5,279, which isn't the required. I think the required is like 6,400. But the last thing we need to do to see exactly where we're at, I don't know why I backed out. We need to go and put our team into the team analysis and see what that's looking like. So first up, we have our cool shiny Raticate, which we will be collecting from, so we're not gonna say its pack is always full. Same with the Celio, its trigger is actually beneficial, so we'll leave that as is. Then we need our Slowbro. Where are you at? You should be kind of early, but not too early. There you are. Our level 26 Gengar and our now level 25 Eevee, which I need to go change, but that's Espeon 97%. We can just update team analysis here, and then we'll save. We no longer have the good camp set on, so we need to take that off. And no drop. Are we at only 5%? Probably should have checked that before. That would have been smart. Let's see. I think we're at 10% on Snowdrop now. Yes, 10%. So we do need to change that. 10%. Close. And now we should be able to see only Ultra 3. Interesting. I thought it would be kind of higher. I thought this Raticate would actually be putting in a lot more work. I mean, it is a conservative estimate. I would like to hit Master if we can, but we'll just have to see. Have to see how it goes. Yeah, that's oh, it would help if I actually click Snowdrop Tundra too. That does only put it at Ultra 4, but setting it to Snowdrop Tundra would help. So yeah, it's gonna be an interesting week. We might need to rethink this another day, but for now, this is where we're gonna sit. We're gonna see how this goes, and hopefully things go well. But that said, that's what I've got for today. Again, Merry Christmas to everyone that celebrates. Happy holidays to those of you that don't. And to anybody that doesn't have any holidays right about now, I hope you have a great winter time, especially the end of the year, and a fantastic New Year's. But that's what I've got for today. Appreciate you coming by and watching the video. Make sure to hit the like button if you liked it. Subscribe if you want to see more. And until next time, later, dudes. Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. It is the day after Christmas. Hope you all had a great holiday, whether you celebrate or not. I hope you had a fantastic day. We are going to start off with only 8,968 sneaky snacking for last night, which is kind of low compared to what we're used to given this last week. Not getting as much strength out of the Eradicate as I thought we would, but I don't think it's a cause for concern yet. I was trying to hit Great 1 last night before I went to bed and it just wasn't happening. But speaking of things that are happening, we have the first night of Good Sleep Day is tonight. So make sure that if you want to swap out your Pokemon to get the Sleep XP bonus on your team and set up a team to really benefit from the double XP that we're going to get tonight, do that before you go to bed tonight, or today if you want to have them run through the whole day and just set them as your main team. Now is the time to do that. We also get some bonus sleep points tomorrow for our sleep tonight, so make sure you actually get your sleep tracked properly. And we're going to start off with 100 sleep points today, so it's 17,618. We're in a pretty good place. And for now, we can click on this. I think it just recaps the Good Sleep Day event. We have recapped it quite a lot. We do have 2.5 times drowsy power on the night of the full moon, which is tomorrow night, and 1.5 times the other days, tonight and Thursday night. But that said, let's go ahead, and before I forget, I'm getting better about remembering it, but I will still forget occasionally, I'm sure. Ooh, Pokebiscuit, that's a good one. Don't know that we'll have anything today that we can use it on, but it's good to have it in the back pocket. But speaking of things to use that Pokebiscuit on, let's go ahead and jump into this sleep report and see if we get anything interesting today. Session 150. And we're looking at 8 hours and 38 minutes slept. Got to bed a little late because it's Christmas, you know. Stayed up too late hanging out with folks. And then woke up a little late to make up for it, but we did get 8% dozing, 39% snoozing, and 53% slumbering. So that might be a slumbering sleep type. Sure enough. Which I don't recall. Another reason that I'm glad we went to Snowdrop was because Snover and Abomasnow are going to spawn here. And I don't recall what sleep type they spawn under off the top of my head. I'm going to have to look that one up. Well, we did get 6.2 million drowsy power, 3 2-stars. We got a Swablu, which we desperately need a better one. Still do not have an Altaria for the Dragonberry. Mainly because our Swablu is just not great. All 4 of the sleeps we got were old sleep styles, which is to be expected, but we did get 2 Cubones, a Spheal, and a Swablu. Definitely out of those, Swablu is the only one that is going to be a priority at this point. Spheal's hungry. Come on, Swablu. Swablu's not hungry, which is unfortunate. And we haven't worked on anybody else. So that's fine. All right, even though the Spheal is the one that's hungry, we are going to try to get this Swablu. Only a +3, no big hit. And let's see, we do have 3 biscuits, so maybe we can put that biscuit to use. As long as it's not full, we can take this home. There we go. So we're taking this one home, and that does leave us 1 Pokebiscuit that I would like to keep on hand just in case we run into a shiny at some point. no point in running out of biscuits. I mean, we could buy some more, but better to just have it on hand. This is actually a tough call. Swablu, not super rare, but I think it is rare enough that that's probably the most useful candy we could send out today. So that's what we're gonna do. So overall, not a really big sleep research today, which is to be expected, but we did bring home a Swablu, which we desperately need, and another 300 XP and 480 Dream Shards. Let's go ahead and switch on over and see how this Swablu is looking. Rash nature, I don't think that's too good for a berry specialist. There's Swablu. But maybe I'm wrong. Well, no, rash is no, that's ingredient finding up, so yeah. Let's see, double eggs and soybeans, which is not bad. Inventory up L is okay. Helping speed M is very good, actually. Ingredient finder S, not so great. Skill trigger S, not so great. And inventory up M, not great. Yep, rash is actually just kind of neutral for a berry gatherer. So unfortunately, it looks like our quest for a good Swablu still continues. I mean, this one's okay. It might be the best one we've found so far. Let's run some quick math. Let's see, 81, 67, 73, 72, 58, and 58 divided by 6, not 60. 68%. That might actually be the best one we've found so far. I'll have to compare this one to the other one we have. Let's see, this is level 11. We're gonna go ahead and add it to the box just so I can compare that later. And with that, let's go ahead and move on and see what else we can get going on today. Kind of a slow Tuesday. Kind of weird having Christmas on a Monday. Kind of throws the whole week off a little bit. No new news, but we do still have the New Year's event coming up next week. And then let's see what you guys have been up to. 43 reports. That's pretty good. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 that doubled out of 46. So just around that 25% mark again. Seems like we're pretty consistently hitting 25%. So that's good to know. And now let's go ahead and collect from our helpers. That's one main skill trigger, 1444 strength just on that one. Well, that's one. Well, we're 1 for 2 so far. I want to click on eradicate last. Let's go ahead and grab that candy. Well, 1 for 3 so far. Not good. But I guess that makes sense. Eevee actually, that one's skill procced like 3 times yesterday. So I guess today's gonna be a slow day. We did get a slowpoke tail, but still no trigger. 1 for 4, 1 for 5. And now this is the part that's really interesting. So Eradicate's main skill recharges its own energy. And I know each individual Pokemon has a different rate at which they proc their main skill. This Eradicate I've clicked on 4 or 5 times since last episode, and only once did it trigger its main skill. Now on the plus side, when it does trigger its main skill, because it has energy recovery, it's getting an extra 20% energy. So it says 21 for the main skill, but it's actually giving me 25 every time it procs. So that's good, but I was hoping it would trigger more often. And it unfortunately is not triggering as much as I would like, but that may be something that, you know, by the time we get to level 100, maybe it'll trigger a lot more often. And while we're here, I don't know if we have enough yet. Nope, not enough yet. Maybe one more night. If I get a decent amount of sleep tonight, maybe we'll do that tomorrow. We'll just have to see how tonight's sleep goes. But all that said, let's go ahead and jump into, oh, we are almost a grade 1, finally. Let's get some breakfast going and see what we can make. I don't think we can make the slowpoke curry today. Nah, not quite. Didn't mean to click on that, but it'll still tell me what I want. Only 5 tails so far. So that's unfortunate. Actually, it looks like the apple curry is going to be what we make today. Or maybe the chowder. Or, yeah, let's go ahead and make the mild honey curry. We have plenty of honey. We can throw in some of these extra ingredients that we don't need. Not as good as I was hoping this would go for our recipes this week, but at least we're consistently able to make something. That increased ingredient bag storage is actually helping quite a bit, but I think this is only going to be about 8, maybe 10,000 if we're lucky. Not even close, only 5,500. Okay, I might have to rethink our cooking strategy then. If that's all we're going to be getting on the meals that we're not making the slowpoke curry, that's not going to be good. So we might have to switch that up. If I do switch it up, it might be tomorrow. Kind of want to finish up the Eevee sleep time. I don't know. I'm gonna have to think on that one about how exactly I want to handle this going forward. But we did get to grade 1, so we are making, I don't think it's record-breaking progress, but we are making good progress so far. Just gonna have to kind of see how things go for the rest of the week and probably just be very adaptive this week. Seems like things aren't going as expected, but who knows? I don't know. I don't know what this week is going to look like. It's going to be a crazy week, I can tell you that much. But that's what I've got for today, so I appreciate you coming by and watching the video. Make sure to hit the like button if you liked it. Subscribe if you want to see more. And until next time, later, dudes. Good morning, everyone, and welcome back. We're on day 3 here in Snowdrop Tundra, and we have 10,214 sneaky snacking to start off with, so it's looking a little bit better. I realized after yesterday's episode that part of the reason our sneaky snacking isn't as good as it has been is that we didn't have a berry collector with a full pack. We have been collecting to try to get these skill triggers, so it made a little more sense once I thought about it. My outrage was a bit premature. But that said, we do have the first night of the Good Sleep Day event. We have drowsy power times 2.5, which is tonight, but the research we're about to have is drowsy power times 1.5. Let's go ahead and collect our sleep points from the first day. We got 600 to add on there. And that'll give us 18,218. So we do have some more sleep points to play around with if we need some Poke Biscuits or any other items that could be beneficial. And let's just go ahead and jump in and see if we got anything interesting on last night's sleep. Session 151. I think we're at like grade 2, maybe. I forget actually exactly where I'm at right now, but we did get 9 hours and 57 minutes of sleep because I went to bed late again last night trying to make up for the holidays. Got 12% dozing, 52% snoozing, and 36% slumbering. So probably snoozing. Yep. Sounds about right. Drowsy power times 1.5. So hopefully we can get around 10 or 15 million. That would be nice. Probably a long shot with us being on Snowdrop. Maybe not as long of a shot as I thought. Well, that by far exceeded expectations. 18.5 million. With a top belly on top of it. There we go. A top belly Eevee. Yep, we already had that one. So let's see if we got anything new first off. looks like all old sleep styles, but we did get another Flaffy. I see that quite a lot. It's kind of surprising actually how many times I've seen Flaffy. The Flaffy, 2 Jigglypuffs, 2 Slowpokes, and an Eevee. Actually, Slowpoke, we could use a good candidate for a Slowking. So that could be interesting. I know Slowking is faster than Slowbro in terms of its gathering frequency, but I don't know if it's actually any more beneficial over what we have already for the Slowpoke Tails. Nobody's hungry. We do still need a better Eevee, and we also need a better Slowpoke for the Slowking, like I was saying. But I also feel like we do also need a better Wigglytuff candidate. This is actually kind of a tough choice. We have a few that would be beneficial. I don't think that we'd be able to take the Jigglypuff home today. I'm trying to think of which is the most beneficial. Honestly, we have a solid candidate for an Espeon. We have a solid candidate for a Sylveon. We do need a good candidate for a Glaceon. I kind of feel like Eevee is actually the most beneficial to us at this point, so let's see what we can do with that. Hey, there we go. Clutch big hit, I'll take that. Works out. And really what I'm looking for with this Glaceon candidate is Berry Finding S and skill up, or main skill beneficial sub skills is what I'm looking for with a solid Glaceon candidate. A Top Belly Eevee, that's been sent out a lot. People, let's send out some Jigglypuff candy. That could help some people. And let's see, we got oh, that's actually quite surprising that we got 1,052 research XP and 1,700 dream shards to go along with it. Well, let's go ahead and switch on over and see level 12 with a modest nature. I don't actually recall modest that well. Let's see what we got. We got milk, cocoa, and sausage. I'm getting ahead of myself. I haven't even clicked on Eevee yet. There you are. The milk, cocoa, sausage. And we've got energy recovery bonus, which isn't terrible. Inventory up M, not looking good. Helping speed S, this is definitely not a Glaceon candidate. Ingredient finder and skill trigger S. So this one's kind of just all over the place. Well, this looks different. Still only goes to level 60. Okay, so here's more of the classic look that we had, but this looks way different. Okay, so they actually have it broken down into different line graphs now. Interesting. So skill trigger value 70 overall. Is that what this is saying? Surely not, because that average doesn't sound right. Or is that just giving me only the level 30? Okay, well, might have to do some reading on how this is, how you're supposed to read this now. But we can go ahead and default for today back to our more of the old school graph that we're used to. Still shows, okay, yeah, it still shows the perfect, the worst, and around where ours is, but we don't need all that for now. We can tell this one's not going to be super great for a skill trigger, which is one of the things we need for a Glaceon. Ingredient count's going to be pretty low. Overall, this is just a middle of the road Eevee, not really going to be good for much of anything. We did forget to put the nature on there, which is modest, which is not helpful. It is ingredient finding up, but speed of help down, which is just going to make it even worse. So, yeah, Total strength 11. Yeah. Ingredient count probably even worse. Surprisingly high. That's actually quite surprising that it's that high with speed of help down. Huh. Well, anyway, like I said, I'm gonna have to check into the documentation, see what's up with this new graph and how we're supposed to read this. But I think we can pretty safely say this Eevee is just kind of middle of the road, not that great, so we'll definitely be going to live with the professor. Let's go ahead and switch back on over. And let's carry on. Another 668 sneaky snacking. No new news. No new medals. But what have you guys been up to? Hoping for like 40. Oh, I almost had it. I was going to say 47, but I didn't get it out, so it doesn't count. But we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 double candies. So that would be what, 52 reports would be 25%. So we're actually a little over. We're closer to that 30% today. So not bad. There's a level up. There's another level up. We got a handy candy and 2 ingredient tickets. Very good. Very good. And hopefully I won't need to use those ingredient tickets too much. Oh, we did get 1 skill trigger for 1700 strength gained. That's pretty good. Let me zoom out a little bit. 1 more fiery herb to add in there. Oh, nope, just didn't catch it. There's what we need. Main skill trigger first thing in the morning on Raticate is what we need. Now what would really be beneficial, there's 3 for 3. What would really be beneficial is if we could get this main skill trigger on Slowbro and it go to Raticate. That would be very nice. We got the skill trigger and it did go to Raticate. Did it? Now I'm second guessing which one's which. This is the problem with having names like mine. Hard to tell who's who. Just because I want to figure it out. Let's see. Let's double check real quick. I'm pretty sure. Yep, Berry 82. 141% energy. So that, we're probably going to have a pretty good day with Raticate today. That was the perfect scenario. Raticate triggers his own, and then Slowbro triggers and gives it to Raticate. Could not have asked for a better outcome. Let's see. We still don't have enough to make the grilled tail curry. Thought we're 1 shy. Well, that is unfortunate. We are just really having a hard time with making much of anything. Let's go ahead and pull up the meal maker and plug in our ingredients and see if we can make something new at least, because this is getting a bit out of hand with trying to make some of these lower level recipes. I am not getting much out of them. No, we are on curries, not salads. Let's see, 41. No sausage. We do have 12 milk, 17 oil, and no honey. Oh, I am out of honey. There's my 0. 17 oil. My keyboard is further away from me than usual. 2 tomatoes. 1. Just 1. Cocoa. 7 tails. And no soybeans. Yeah, we are just not in a great place. So looks like we may be using those ingredient tickets earlier than I had planned. I really don't want to make any of these basic recipes right now. We did make it to grade 3. That's pretty good. We are not making great progress, but we're making decent progress this week. I am curious how it's going to be now that Raticate has 141% energy. Let's get some ingredient tickets going. I really could be cheeky and give that Raticate an energy pillow right now too. You know what? I didn't even look at the ingredients we got because I was too busy thinking about it. But we got 5 more tomatoes and 5 more tails. So we definitely can make a good recipe today. Definitely. We're going to make that grilled tail curry now. Choose a recipe. Let me just double check what other ingredient we got, because if we can make a new, so herbs was one of them. If we can make a new recipe, I might do that instead. And ginger. So no new recipes, I don't think. No. All right. So we'll make the grilled tail curry. With any luck, it will be extra tasty. I have not seen this screen. That's new. There's room for 12 more ingredients in the pot. Shall we add some more ingredients at random to fill it? So you can either add more randomly, don't add more and just cook what you got, or cancel and go back and add what you want. That is brand new, and that's very good. That is a very, very good and welcome feature. I have only done it a handful of times, but I know a lot of people have accidentally just thrown a bunch of random stuff in there, just clicking through stuff very quickly. So I don't know when they snuck that in, but definitely a good feature. No extra tasty, but we did get 11,820. So we're doing really good there. Not quite the 20 or 30,000 we were getting last week, but still very nice. A lot better than the 5,000 or 6,000 I was getting on those basic recipes, which is definitely something we need to get under control. We need to get a decent backup recipe going, and I have a couple options for that. We need, I think in order to get good backup recipes, we need some potatoes, and I do have a couple of good options, but first I'm just going to be real cheeky. We're going to do this for the science, and I'm going to give him an energy pillow. Pokemon's full on energy and can't recover more. That is unfortunate, but I can give him one later after he's got down to like 99%. And I think we might do that. Or I could be extra cheeky and give it to the slow bro and hope we get more tails, but I think that's probably a bad call. But let's see. So with potatoes, we have a couple of decent options. And I'm not really too sure which one is the most beneficial. I think Bellsprout might be, but its frequency is very low. But I do know that potatoes and tomatoes go together really well. So it may be worth it to invest the extra time into this Bellsprout. I'm not sure what its stats look like as a Victory Bell, but having Charge Energy S is always a good thing to be able to restore itself. It starts off with Ingredient Finder M, so that's good. The Nature, kind of okay. But our other option is the Shiny Graveler, which we already have more invested into. It does get soybeans and potatoes, which don't seem to synergize nearly as well as the tomatoes and potatoes, but it does have helping bonus and speed of help up. So it's kind of a hard call. It doesn't have Ingredient Finder, which is unfortunate. So it's kind of a tough choice, but this is what I'm between now in terms of getting our potatoes. Mime Jr., if we had a better one, would probably be the one I go to because it has tomatoes and potatoes, which are a good combo, and leeks at level 60, which we can't get to yet, but when we are able to get there would be very nice. This is probably the best ingredient spread for a Mime Jr., but it's just not the best until level 75, 100, and its speed of help nature, or its nature lowering the speed of help, is very bad. So I definitely don't think this is the one we invest in. It's definitely between these two, and I just don't really know which one is going to be our best choice just yet. by all means, let me know your opinions, which one you think is going to be better. The Bell Sprout, taking it all the way to a Victory Bell. We will have to use some handy candies to get it there. But we need to get it to level 30 anyway, so not really that big a deal. We're going to have to use handy candies one way or the other. So it's either going to be the Bell Sprout with the tomatoes and potatoes and Ingredient Finder M, but a neutral nature, or the shiny Graveler that we take to level 30 to get potatoes and soybeans with a helping bonus, but no Ingredient Finder subskill. So, like I said, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Give me your opinions, and we'll try to figure this out. But I think that's really the thing holding us back on having a solid backup recipe right now. But that said, that's what I've got for today. So I appreciate you guys coming by and watching the video. Make sure to hit the like button if you liked it. Subscribe if you want to see more. And until next time, later, dudes. Good morning, everyone, and welcome back. We're on day 4 here on Snowdrop Tundra. We're gonna have a bit of a feature-heavy episode today. We're gonna break down how to look at the new updated Raynon calculator page. They did a lot of changes on it, makes it a lot cleaner, and added some cool new features. But we're gonna get into that a little bit later after we catch our Pokemon today, and I will break that down for you guys. But first things first, let's start off with this is the middle day for our Good Sleep Day event. But before I get into that, we've got 13,530 sneaky snacking, which I always forget about the sneaky snacking. And then tonight we have 1.5 times drowsy power, but for today we have 2.5 times, and we also have 1,100 sleep points. So we're at 19,318. And before I forget, I did forget in the video, but I didn't forget by the end of the day to grab my daily gift. So make sure you grab yours. Poke Biscuit's nice. That will definitely help. And let's go ahead and jump into this sleep report and see what is going on. So we've got session 152. 9 hours and 48 minutes of sleep. That is a crazy looking sleep graph. Last half of the night, I just was not doing well. Interesting. So we got 21% dozing, 48% snoozing, and 31% slumbering. So that's probably a dozing sleep type. Sure is. So is Snover under the dozing? Because that's what I'm really looking for right now, is a good Snover. We did get 2.5 times drowsy power, so maybe we'll at least break 30 million, hopefully. Oh yeah, definitely. Blew way past 30. 46.8 million, that's really good. We got 3-star sleeps too. So that's fantastic. That's really good. Hopefully got some of the more rare sleep styles. We did get a top belly, which we already had. So let's see. 2 back-to-back 3 stars that are the exact same. All right, so we've got 2 Mankeys, a Gulpin, Bellsprout, Ghastly, Bellsprout, and I think there's still one more that might be new. Yeah, we still got one more. Where are you at? Let's see. Ooh, that's pretty. Altaria. Feather Nestled Sleep, a 1-star sleep style. I think that's the first one we've gotten for Altaria as well. Yep. It sleeps wrapped inside its wings, looking like a cottony cloud. Nestled within such soft, beautiful wings, the soundly snoozing Altaria may well be enjoying the most comfortable sleep ever. Which means somewhere in the Pokemon world, there are Altaria down mattresses and pillows. And I'm jealous. And it's hungry. Let's go. All right, so I think that pretty much, and it's only 12. Only 12 pips. I thought it would be 16 at least. Yeah, we definitely are feeding the Altaria. We have had just terrible luck with Swablu, so we definitely have to go for this. The only thing I don't like is that I can't buy a Great Biscuit from the shop right now. With sleep points anyway. Because it's locked behind premium. Which we are getting close to doing that, but not yet. So, you know what? Is today the day? Today might be the day. Oh, I can't do it from here. Today is not the day. That is unfortunate. Okay, well, maybe we will get lucky and get a big hit on the regular Poke Biscuit. Just a +1. All right. It's full after 2? Why? That is so lame that a hungry Pokemon can be full after 2 biscuits. Well, that's disappointing. That is disappointing, and nothing else is really all that exciting. So, unfortunately, we don't take anything home with us today. At least we will for sure take the Altaria home next time we see it. That's actually a big disappointment. Definitely gonna send out some Altaria candy though. Not Altaria candy, Swablu candy. At least we got, what is that, only 5 for Altaria showing up? That's surprising. I thought it would be more. But it's still candy, so that when we finally do get one, we'll have enough candy for it. 1900 research XP and almost 4,000 dream shards. So we're doing pretty good. All right, well, we didn't catch anything, but I am going to go ahead and switch over and show you guys what this new calculation screen looks like. I've just pulled up my Raticate that we already have on the team right now. This is the shiny Raticate. I pulled this up, and if you just hit calculate normally, it won't actually show you what I'm looking at, but you'll see this line graph, and this shows all the different ratings at the different breakpoints, basically just taking all this information and putting it on a line graph. What it also does is here in the top, this is your weighted average of all the scores. And the way to control how much weight each level is put onto the total score, you click this little gear right here. These aren't 1 by default, but what I've done is change them all to 1, because whenever I figure out the names, so for example, let me pull up this Raticate we're looking at. So my Raticate is Berry 82%. And what I was doing was taking all 6 of these numbers, adding them together, and then dividing by 6. By setting the weighted average to 1 here in the weight settings, it automatically does that for us, and you can see they've come up with 82. So if I just pull up, let's pull up Celio because he's on the team. So if I just pull up Celio, his total strength average should be 89. All 6 of them put together, divided by 6, and then rounded to the nearest whole number. So this way you don't have to pull up the calculator and figure it out yourself. But also, if you want to change the weights, and let's say you don't want it to count level 1 at all, you can just change that to 0 and then recalculate. Oh, did I mess it up? Do I not understand? Maybe I don't understand. Let's see. Let's run a little experiment then. There's no reason it should stay 89 if I take the level 74 and drop that down to 0 as well. I do wish there was a sliding bar there, but no dice. Oh, we can just hit X. Even better. And now you can see the total strength is 92. So you can change the weight in the calculation. So if I put this back to 1, close it out, it automatically readjusts to 89. You actually don't even have to recalculate. So that is how to look at this new one. There's also this handy little infographic here that shows there's the weight settings. You can also change how you're looking at it. Percentile, which is just how good your individual Pokemon is. Percentage, I haven't quite figured this one out yet because this infographic only shows the percentile. I think what this is trying to show is how good it is relative to other possible combinations of the same Pokemon. And then relative strength. You know what? These are probably related to the numbers we had before on this one. So I don't recall off the top of my head what percentage is. Relative strength is how good it is versus other possible combinations. So really the main one you're focused on is percentile when you're gauging each individual Pokemon. This is probably 90% of what you're going to use the calculator for is just the percentile. So really I wouldn't worry too much about these unless you're getting into real min-maxing territory. But that is how this works. That's how to read it. You can still go down and look at the old information if you want to. It's still there, still available. This is where mine is. Weird that it's only saying 2 out of 2. Yeah, I'm not really paying attention to this info anymore. I barely paid attention to it in the first place. This is what I'm really concerned about. Set the weight settings however you want them and get whatever calculation you're looking for. I think this is a good step in the right direction for helping us really figure out what our Pokemon's true strengths are. But that said, let's go ahead and move on. It is time for breakfast. And before we can get into breakfast, we have to stare at a loading screen for 5 minutes and check that there's no new news. But you guys have been up to some stuff. Let's see what y'all been up to. 39 reports, kind of low. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 doubles, which is good. That is right at 25%. Even got a double on a rank 0 friend. And no level ups today. All right, so let's go ahead and collect from our helpers. There's 1 skill trigger. And somebody did post in the comments yesterday that a trick that you can use if you want to make sure that you're energizing cheer from Slowbro or another Pokemon with the same skill, if you want to make sure that it goes to a specific Pokemon, you can actually hold off, don't collect from it, and then go and remove the Pokemon from your team so that the only Pokemon on the team are the Slowbro for this example, and whatever Pokemon you want the energy trigger or the energy cheer to land on. And so then you have a 50-50 shot of it getting the Pokemon you want. So I probably won't be using that because that's a little, I'm not trying to play the game that hard, but if you want to do that, it is a trick that is available to you and make use of it. We did get it on our Celio, which is good. That's of the options, that is the second option that I wanted on, second best. And we got almost, I think we got 4 out of 5 skill triggers, maybe 3 out of 5. But funny enough, even with Raticate's 141% energy yesterday, his skill never triggered again. So it hasn't triggered since you guys saw it trigger in yesterday's episode. So I don't know what's going on with that. Maybe it just has a naturally low main skill trigger chance. But let's go ahead and get into making breakfast. We are going to be making the grilled tail curry again. And I want to make sure to put in all this cocoa. We actually only need 3 more tails to be able to make it one more time. I'm just gonna put in 5 more herbs because they're worth a lot, and we get plenty of herbs anyway, so I'm not worried about that. So this should be a pretty decent meal. Yeah, the cocoa's worth a lot. We have 12,084. Very good. Very good breakfast. These grilled tail curries are the only thing really keeping us on track right now, because other than when I make the grilled tail curry, we are just not having any luck. Which we are hopefully going to fix that here in just a minute. So we are at grade 5. And today's Thursday. Master is the goal. Master 1 is all I'm trying to hit. And I think in order to do that, we need to do a couple of things. First things first, it's time for our Eevee to finally evolve. Ready to evolve into this beautiful Espeon. 97% Espeon at that. Let's go ahead and pull this up. I want to show you guys real quick what we're looking at now that we have this fancy new calculator. If I can find Espeon. Of course, it's eluding me. Where are you? Why can't I find you? There you are. So, Espeon with all the same sub skills and nature as the Eevee we just had. So you can see they're all the same. Calculate the skill trigger. Ooh, 95. It's gone down. I wonder if there's been a change in how they calculate that's made it more accurate. Well, either way, 95% is still very good. So we can rename this one, which I will do later on. It is charge strength M level 3, which means every time it triggers, it's a base increase of 1726. We could, if we were so inclined, use a sub-skill seed to make this skill level up M. And that would, let's recalculate. Oh yeah, skill trigger value doesn't take the skill trigger M into account, but it would increase its level by 1. So that would make it better, but overall, not a whole lot of difference. So I'm fine with where we're at for now. I am saving that sub-skill seed for somebody that's got something a little better. But RP is at 1442, so that was about a 500 point jump. And then the next thing that we need to do that's really going to help us moving forward is, I asked you guys yesterday, I don't know why I keep hitting edit team. I asked you guys yesterday, which of the two should we invest in? Either the Bellsprout, and lucky for me, they're right next to each other. The Bellsprout or the Shiny Graveler. It does seem like there's not going to be a whole lot of difference between the two of them in the long run once they're at higher levels, but in the short term it does seem like they are going to be quite different. And I think the one thing holding us back on Bellsprout is just the sheer amount of investment it's going to take to get it to level 30, because one way or another they need to be level 30 for us to even consider it. And we have 192 candies, but we want to save 120 of them for evolution, so we can just say we have 72 candies, not one. Come on, why are you being difficult? Not 172, 72. And we want to get them to level 30, which is going to take us 92 handy candies to get there. And we have 41. Now the other question is, if we go ahead and use all 192 of our candies, does that allow us to get there? It would. We may end up with a weeping bell instead of a victory bell though. So get to level 30. No, it wouldn't let us get there. We would still need 52 and we only have 41. So therein lies the problem with the bell sprout. And then for the graveler, we have a slightly different problem. We don't have that many owned candies already. It's level 21 with 320 to go. And we have only 38, which we need 80 to evolve. It would still take 60 handy candies to get to level 30. So no matter what, we can't get either of them to level 30 right now, which is super unfortunate. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take one more day and try to figure out if there's a possible way to get them to level 30, maybe through the premium shop or some way of trying to get some medals cleared out that will give us some handy candies, or seeing if maybe we get some friends that level up that give us some handy candies. Something's got to be done for us to get either one of these to level 30. So we're kind of stuck right now. We could just throw them on the team and get a little bit of extra XP from having Celio on here, but neither of them are going to be super close to level 30, so it may not help much. But we did get 15 diamonds, so that's a plus. But yeah, so that's kind of where we're at right now. We're just kind of stuck, not able to get either of them to level 30, which is unfortunate, but there's got to be a way to do it somehow, right? But that said, that's what I've got for today. I appreciate you coming by and watching the video. Make sure to hit the like button if you liked it, subscribe if you want to see more, and until next time, later dudes. Good morning everyone and welcome back. We're here on day 5 on Snowdrop Tundra. We should have a pretty good research today, hopefully. We did get to grade 5 with 10,128 sneaky snacking while we slept. We did get to grade 5, and we are going to grab the last of our free bonus points from the Good Sleep Day event. 600 sleep points, so that puts us now at 16,918. And before we get into everything else, let's go ahead and jump into this sleep report and see if our friend from yesterday, that Altaria, shows up again. Would be nice, but I am not confident. 9 hours 43 minutes of sleep. We got 7% dozing, which is not looking good for that Altaria, 32% snoozing, and 61% slumbering. Apparently I was tired. We definitely got the slumbering type. That was not even a question. 1.5 times drowsy power, so let's see. Can we still break at least 40 million? That would be pretty nice. There's a 3-star, another 3-star, another. Ah, there we go. The top belly right there at the end, 36.9 million. So we didn't quite break the 40 we were hoping for, but that is to be expected. Ooh, a top belly spiel. That's kind of funny. I don't know how he doesn't roll off of Snorlax's belly. All right, so we've got 2 Cleffa, a Marowak, two Spheal, and a Riolu. And I think, yeah, there's still one more that is a new sleep type, which with how many new sleep types we are discovering lately, when the new island comes out, we should have that unlocked pretty much instantly. There we are, Togepi. Is that a 3-star sleep? Shell tucked, that's hard to say. Shell tucked sleep. It's a 3-star style that, yep, that's the last one we needed for Togepi for now. Yeah, I don't know exactly how many sleep styles I have. I haven't looked at that, but I feel like we've gotten quite a bit pretty recently. No one's hungry. Ooh, that's not good. Well, that, not really sure who to feed. Kind of thinking the Cleffa, just because I know I need a better one. I have a couple of decent Togepis, I think. I mean, I could use a better Spheal. I think out of all these, Cleffa is probably the one I have the worst stat-wise of. So I'm thinking that maybe Cleffa is the way to go. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna feed the Cleffa, see what happens. I'm not gonna be worried about taking it home, but we will have it set up for next time we see it. Yeah, I don't really want to spend any sleep points on biscuits right now. So yeah, unfortunately we just didn't really have anything really helpful. Nobody was hungry and nothing really super spectacular popped up. Spheal does take a while to evolve and level up, and he's pretty solid, so I think we're gonna go ahead and send out some Spheal candy today. Hopefully that'll help you guys out. We got 1,888 research XP and 3,000 dream shards. Slowly making back what we spent last week on that awful candy boost. Well, let's go ahead and grab our daily gift. Let's play our daily slot roulette or whatever you want to call it. Let's gamble, see what we get for free. Ooh, an ingredient ticket. I don't think I've gotten one of those from a daily gift yet, so, or maybe I have. I don't know. I don't remember. It's hard to keep track of them all. But I will take an ingredient ticket one way or the other. Still no new news. And then you guys, 47 reports. Well done. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Only 7 that doubled. Interesting. So that's a pretty bad percentage. Well, relative to how we have been doing. I think that's only the 47. So that's maybe 15%. But we did get some level ups. So there's 1, 2 level ups and 2 more ingredient tickets that I desperately need. Sunday is not going to be fun. Another 590 sneaky snacking. And let's see, I did swap out after we got the Espeon evolved. Its skill didn't trigger a single time yesterday, which was disappointing. But to be honest, this team, it was only on this team just so that we could get the sleep logged and get it evolved. But now that we have something that is going to be more beneficial all around in the Bellsprout, I wanted to stick it on the team and try to get some XP on it so that we could get it to level 30. And there's a skill trigger going to ingredient 86. I believe that was himself. Finally, a skill trigger. So that is the first time in, I think, 48 hours that his skill has triggered. But at least it did it first thing in the morning, which is the best time. So I think I'm going to not collect any berries from him for the rest of the day until... I may actually just wait. I may wait and I don't know. I was thinking about collecting right before I go to bed, but now I'm thinking I may just wait and collect first thing in the morning and just try to get his skill to trigger again first thing in the morning. But we did get another skill trigger with Gengar. So I think that was 3 out of 5. I don't think Bellsprout triggered. So not too bad. 3 out of 5. It's good odds. Let's go ahead and jump into breakfast, and we are going to be making this grilled tail curry again because it is super good, and I'm gonna make it every chance I can get. Let's just throw in an apple for the funsies. We're actually starting to run low on ingredients, so I may need to swap out Bellsprout for an ingredient specialist. Try maybe for Venusaur or Blastoise. Probably Blastoise because I can get Cocoa. And try to let some ingredients stock up. 11,928 on that meal. So that should definitely put us into Ultra 1, which is making it not look fantastic for hitting Master this week. But I've probably kind of hurt myself with the way I've been handling the team this week. Focused more on growing the Eevee and the Bellsprout rather than pure strength. All right, so we're now at Ultra 1. So we're doing a lot better. And then we're kind of just not really a whole lot going on today. It's kind of a lackluster Friday. So, well, I guess everything's going to seem lackluster after an event like we had last week. That was actually pretty good. One last thing I did want to mention. The calculator website, I saw they made a post today that they have changed the way that helping bonus is calculated. So they said it. Let me see if I can pull up the news real quick so I can read it verbatim. I don't want to get it wrong. So helping bonus calculation logic has been updated to be closer to reality. The update will slightly reduce the rating and the production calculated as individual of a Pokemon. The reduction amplifies more if the Pokemon has more helping speed subskills. The calculation result with team information available is not affected by this change. The estimated reduction is as follows. Helping bonus is down by 2.79%. So instead of applying a flat 25% helping bonus to the Pokemon that has it, it seems like they have reduced the amount to make it more accurate across the board when you have a whole team. So I've pulled up the Celio because he's the one that has helping bonus on our team, and I want to double check and see how that affected his rating to see how much of an impact that has. So let's go ahead and pull him back up. It actually did not affect much at all. It dropped him down to 88% instead of 89. So it doesn't seem like it makes much of a difference, but I did want to make you guys aware of this change because I know a lot of these changes sometimes go under the radar, but it should be more accurate for you. I don't think that applying 5 stacks of 5% frequency reduction was a good way to measure it, but it does seem like they're trying to take steps in the right direction to make it more accurate. How do they say it? To be closer to reality. So that is a good thing. This website is constantly changing. They're constantly making updates. That's one of the reasons why I stick with it, is because they do seem to want to be as accurate as possible so that when you're playing the game and you're calculating your Pokemon stats, you can have the clearest picture possible. There's a lot of things that, you know, we and even the developers of the site still don't understand entirely about the game. So it is a work in progress. It's not 100% accurate by any means, but they're trying to get there. So that said, bit of a short video today, kind of just an update on how today went. Not a whole lot going on, like I said, but it happens sometimes. You know, not every day can be super exciting. But that's all I've got for you guys today. I appreciate you coming by and watching the video. Make sure to hit the like button if you liked it. Subscribe if you want to see more. And until next time, later, dudes. Good morning, everyone, and welcome back. We're on day 6 here on Snowdrop Tundra. It's coming up to the end of the year, so that also means the end of the month. And I think you guys know what we've been building up to for the end of the month. So, yeah. it's going to be an interesting episode. We're going to be making some big moves. First things first, let's grab our sleep points. 200 sleep points because we slept extra well, which gives us 20,118 sleep points. And now that we've collected those, before I forget again, as I am wont to do, let's go grab our daily gift, play our daily lottery. Dream Cluster S, and it's possibly the least desirable thing that I could get, but not bad. Definitely will save them for the next time a double Dream Shard event rolls around. But let's go ahead and jump into this sleep report and see if we get anything interesting. Session 154. 9.5 hours of sleep. Even though I tried to wake up earlier, I just didn't want to. We got 5% dozing. Well, I slept pretty hard then. 62% snoozing and 33% slumbering, so that's definitely a snoozing type. So let's see, we no longer have any bonuses from the Good Sleep Day event. So 25 million would be nice. We did get that. Got a little higher than I expected, 31.5 million. That is significantly better than what I thought it was going to be. Thought we were going to have a hard time pushing 25. But that should give us some interesting stuff. We definitely need a better Mareep, but it's not a high priority. Let's see what we did get. So it looks like we still have one new sleep style, which is good. We've got 2 Wobbuffets, Eradicate, a Slowbro, Mareep, and a Jigglypuff. Which I have a decent Jigglypuff, but getting a better one to invest in would be nice. But let's see what this other new... Oh, a new Flaffy. Hold on. Oh, I'm losing it. My brain is losing it. That's a 2-star sleep. We only have 1 left on the Flaffy. So not doing too bad on that research there. Maybe we can finish that up by the end of the week. I'm really trying to make sure that we can unlock this new island immediately when it rolls around. A Hungry Slowbro is nice, but I don't know how nice. Getting the Jigglypuff would... Why is my game running slow? It is running real slow. So we could take home the Slowbro if we wanted. But ultimately I'm not. Like, we have the Slowbro on our team just because it unlocks the tails. I don't think I want another one necessarily. It's not going to be my end game tail gatherer. I prefer to have a Ditto that has tails available. But we are going to take the Jigglypuff home. That puts us at a level 10 friendship with Jigglypuff, which is fantastic. Hopefully we can get that helping speed M. That's going to be probably the most beneficial for a Jigglypuff going forward. But that's all we're going to worry about today. Nothing else really going on. But at least we're taking something home today, so that's good. Let's see, out of all these, what's going to be the most beneficial for people? Probably... I just had a thought about Mega Pokemon with Mega Ampharos being a dragon, and if we would ever get that to where the Dragon Berry would be helpful. But I think for right now, honestly, the Jigglypuff is the most beneficial for people moving forward. At least out of the ones we had. 1,817 research XP, not quite enough to put us at level 42, but we should hit that tomorrow. And 2,300 dream shards. Let's go ahead and switch on over and see how good this Jigglypuff turned out to be. It does say friendship level 10, so I'm curious if we get a gold skill now or if it's the next one we catch. But let me get Jigglypuff pulled up first. There we go. And let's check and see. So we've got honey and double oil. And then maybe it is, what's the word? Maybe it is a guaranteed gold sub skill on this one. But we did get a lot of gold sub skills. Actually, not terrible. So we got skill trigger M for level 25, berry finding S, which is okay. Never hurts to have it. And then skill trigger S. So both the skill triggers, which is good, and then dream shard bonus, which in the end game could be pretty helpful. And then we've got jolly, not the worst nature. It's kind of neutral, but it will help us get leveled up faster. So for skill trigger, because that's what we want, energy for everyone. Let's see how this turns out. Yeah, only a 73. And I think it's only 73 because the calculator doesn't go beyond level 60 yet. I feel like we'd probably be a lot higher if we could see past level 60. Unfortunately, the nature is not the best for what we're doing, but it's not, like I said, it's not the worst. It's just kind of middle of the road. But I think this is a little bit inaccurate. I think dropping down all the way to 65 and 66, not exactly accurate, but that I feel like that's probably just kind of the nature of the beast with some of these Pokemon and the way that they work, especially the skill triggers. It's really hard to put skill trigger effectiveness into numbers. So I probably just said a whole bunch of words that didn't make sense, but hopefully you guys understand what I mean. And this is kind of what I want to look at as well with the skill trigger Pokemon, because their skill triggers are nice and their main skills activating, it's nice, but ultimately most of what they're doing is still berry finding and ingredient gathering. This one more berries than ingredients. I wouldn't put this one on the team worried about what ingredients it has. This would be helpful for the Pecha berries while I wait on a skill trigger. So I really don't think this one is as bad as the calculator is saying. I feel like this one's probably closer to an 80, 85%, and it's really just the nature that is making it not higher, but also not being able to see past level 60 on this calculator, I think is hurting as well. So I'm going to hold on to this one, and we'll see if we, excuse me, if we ever get to a point where we can look beyond level 60 with this calculator. I bet it's going to be higher, so we're going to hold on to it. So let's go ahead and throw this in the box. That's going to be level 10 plus 3. And we will close that out and we will move on. Move on to the next phase of our morning. Another 1,264 while we were gone. And let's go ahead and check. Do we have any news? Still no new news. Did get a medal. Electric type 70 studied. 15 diamonds. There we go. I definitely need some diamonds after all the ingredient space I purchased the other day. It looks like we do have a gift. Let's see. Oh. Premium Pass monthly gift for December. I got a good camp ticket. And 1,000 sleep points. I will definitely take a good camp ticket for free. And then what have you guys been up to? 40 reports. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 that have doubled. So again, right around that 25, maybe 28% range for this one. And it looks like most everyone that doubled was level 5. Everybody was level 5, which makes sense. I'm getting close to only having level 5 friends. Speaking of, there's one level up. Only one today. 2 ingredient tickets, which I desperately need. Real fast, let's go and see if anybody's been inactive for a long time. Ooh, yep, there's one. It looks like I'm gonna have to go through some stuff pretty soon. And then let's go ahead and collect from our gatherers. I did put Blastoise on the team yesterday to try to build up some ingredients. Didn't work out as well as I would have hoped. That ingredient magnet did not trigger. I don't think a single time. So it did not work that well. We did give energy to Celio and another 2 tails. And Celio has actually been triggering his main skill, not fairly often, but often enough. Another 14 fiery herbs, which we desperately need. And now let's see if not clicking on Raticate for an entire day gives him a main skill. Nope, no main skill trigger. That is unfortunate. I was hoping that by the end of 24-hour period, he would have had 1 built up. I did collect a berry from him. I forget exactly when, sometime last night, and he didn't have a main skill trigger then either. So that way overnight he could try to build one up, and it just is not happening, which is unfortunate. I really need Raticate to trigger his main skill to be useful, and I really want to use it because it is a good shiny. Well, it's a good shiny and it has good stats. So I really want to use it, but it's just not working out that well. But for today, do I want to do the tail curry? I'm trying to make sure that we have enough tails built up for all 3 meals tomorrow, which we're 2 away from. So then the question is, can I get 10 more tails today? I should. I'm gonna take a game. Well, it doesn't have to be 10 today. It just has to be 10 over the course of today and tomorrow. So I should be able to do that. So we're gonna go ahead and do another grilled tail curry because we're gonna need it to get to where we want to be by the end of tomorrow. Actually, let's take 2 of these sausages out and put these 2 oils in there because they're worth more, I think. Device is currently offline. It's been a while since we've had an issue, honestly. Now that I think about it, I can't remember the last time the game has crashed on us. We've actually been doing pretty well for the last few weeks. But that happened. All right, so let's get these mushrooms back in, get the cocoa back in, and then 2 sausage and 2 oils. Might have been better to put some tomatoes in instead of sausage. Those might be worth more too. I know apples are worth the least, if I remember correctly. If not the least, they're very close to the bottom. We did get 12,610, so that's very good. Very, 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 very good. So I don't think that'll put us to Ultra 2. Or no, we already are Ultra 2. I don't think it'll put us to Ultra 3. Which Ultra 3 was Raynon's calculation for where we would end the week. We're definitely going to be above Ultra 3, which is good because I have it set to calculate conservatively. But to get to Master, we have a long way. Master is just probably not going to happen, unfortunately. Over 200,000 away. Unless I just get extremely lucky with these meals tomorrow. That is not happening. And in order to get extremely lucky with those meals, we need to really focus on getting some ingredients to even have enough to put in the pot. So now that the Bellsprout has got its XP, let's I think Venusaur is probably our fastest ingredient gatherer at the moment. Or actually, no. What we need to do, where are you at? We need this guy on the team because he is significantly faster and brings in mushrooms and fiery herbs. Mushrooms we need to fill the pot for all the extra ingredient strength, and herbs we need to make the recipe itself. So definitely want him on the team. I was gonna say I might switch out for Ditto, but that would be dumb. Ditto doesn't have Slowpoke tails yet, so we're not gonna do that. But I may swap out the Raticate for another ingredient gatherer just to make sure we have enough going forward tomorrow. One last thing I wanted to check on the Pokemon. I kind of want to just keep tabs on where we're at on this Bellsprout. So where did it go? There you are. I don't need a long press from this screen. Get it together. So we did get to level 15, which is one level higher, but we still can't make it to level 30. Yeah, so I think we're still a ways away from level 30, but we're making slow progress towards being able to get those potatoes that we desperately need. Probably should have leveled it up during Candy Boost, but I didn't think about that, so that is unfortunate. But what is not unfortunate, as you guys have probably noticed, we do have the premium pass now, which means it's finally time to spend half of our sleep points, not all of them. But we are going to completely buy out the shop. So there's 10 Poke Biscuits in the bag. We're going to buy out all of the Great Biscuits. 5 in the bag. All the Handy Candy M's. This is what we have been waiting for, and it feels so good to finally get all of this. Now I have to make sure that I have enough bag space. I didn't even think about that being a problem. But we should have enough bag space to buy out everything today. Dream Cluster M, why not? If it's available, we should have the sleep points to buy it. Sub-Skill Seed, these are the main things we want. And the main Skill Seed. These are what we have been saving all of these sleep points for. And now we have bought out the entire shop. There's 1 day left until the update. I think it's technically 2 days, but it's less than 2 days, so it probably just shows 1 day. But the shop should refresh on January 1st, and then we can buy it out again. You can see we spent, I think we had 20,000, so roughly 9,000 sleep points. Maybe 8,500 or something like that. I might have miscalculated with my original number of 17,200 points needed to buy out the shop twice, but either way, we didn't spend more than half, so we will have enough to buy it out again when it does refresh. And now we can go and marvel at the glory that is our new inventory. Not that one. So we've got 3 ingredient ticket M's, ingredient ticket S's. We got handy candies, handy candy M's. The good camp ticket we got for free. And then we've got all these biscuits to work with. And that's really, like I said, the biscuits and the skill seeds are the main things that we wanted to buy the shop out for. So we're going to have 3 of each by the end of it all. And now we've got to figure out who is going to be the most beneficial recipient of those skill seeds. That I think is going to take some analysis of me going through all my Pokemon that I would make the most impact by having a seed used on them. And that's going to be basically going into the calculator, loading up my Pokemon, using a seed on it. I actually think one of our best candidates for a seed is going to be, where are you at? This guy right here. And I think he's going to need a sub-skill seed almost immediately. Let me just pull it up real fast. So we've got level 12 shiny Wartortle. This is the one that we caught during the first one we caught during the holiday event. Ingredient Finder S. So you can see it's already a 92. Oh, this is showing 92. I had 91, so maybe my math was off. But if we take Ingredient Finder S and change it to Ingredient Finder M and recalculate, makes it a 98. Almost perfect. So it's really hard to beat an almost perfect shiny. What even could we do to make this better? Let's check out the 97. So what, is there anything we could do to make it better? No. Having quiet would be nice. this is saying helping bonus would be good, but I think that's because this calculator overly favors helping bonus because they haven't figured out exactly how to calculate it yet. So this, if things were perfectly figured out and we knew exactly how to calculate everything accurately, this might even be 100% shiny. I would say 99% just because of the nature. The main skill chance down, not helpful. Experience gains down would be probably more beneficial. Yeah, quiet nature would probably be the best, but it is almost perfect. Close enough that I would consider this a perfect shiny. So I think that's probably our best candidate for a sub-skill seed. But like I said, I'm going to go through, do a whole bunch of reconfiguring, seeing what is going to be the most beneficial use of our seeds before I make that decision. So until then, that's all I've got for now. I appreciate you guys watching the video. Make sure to hit the like button if you liked it, subscribe if you want to see more, and until next time, later dudes. Good morning everyone and welcome back. We're here on day 7 and it is New Year's Eve. Happy New Year to everyone. And we're going to start off with an ingredient ticket S, not too bad. And also we're going to start off with 200 sleep points because we have that free premium so we can buy out the shop. So that's going to give us 12,018 sleep points. And I know that it said 1 day left until refresh and we've got to get our daily gift anyway. So I'm going to check and just see if it refreshed today. I doubt it did. I'm just curious. Another ingredient ticket from our daily gift. Let's see, let's go to premium and exchange. Okay, so once it drops below 24 hours, it goes into the counting down the hours. All right, good to know. Like I said, I didn't think it would have refreshed, but I just wanted to see what was up. But let's go ahead and jump into the sleep report and see if we get anything interesting for our final sleep research of the year. Session 155. 9 hours and 24 minutes. Slept pretty hard for a little while there, but we got 13% dozing, 45% snoozing, and 42% slumbering. That might be balanced. Yep, that is balanced. So we have a wide variety of things that we can see today. So far, looking kind of interesting. There's a top belly, no 3 stars, 37.4 million, all 1 and 2 stars except for the top belly. So, Bellsprout, ooh, there's a big guy we need. Bellsprout on top, a new, Celio. A lot of interesting stuff right here on the main screen. So we got 5 that we already had. We got 2 Swallots, Gulpin, Bellsprout. I completely drew a blank on that one's name, and Riolu. All right, so we know that the game is crashed. Looky there, I just said yesterday it's been a while since it's crashed, and great. We're back to this. All right, let's get back. Let's get back to it. Ending off the year in our glitchy style. Okay, so we know the Celio's new. And I'm betting that Obama Snow is new as well. Big yawn sleep from the Celio. I think this is actually the first wild Celio I've seen. No, it's not. Interesting. I don't remember seeing the other one. Let's see, it's got to be you. Yup, it is you, big guy. Sighing sleep. Also not the first sleep style there. So I didn't see any shinies, but we did get some interesting later spawns. Ooh. Well, there's a problem. Definitely think we are going to... We're definitely going to take this guy. We still need a better Snover Obama Snow. We have the ability to take it home, provided it doesn't get full. Could use a Great Biscuit. I think we're gonna gamble though. I don't think I want to use a Great Biscuit on an Obama Snow. We're gonna gamble a little bit and hope it doesn't get full off of 2 biscuits. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Woo! There we go. That Altaria getting full was where my bad luck was. We got some good luck to counterbalance it now. So Obama Snow is in the bag. All right, and I think let me check this Bellsprout. Do I? I have a pretty decent one already. I think I'm gonna wait. I have a pretty good one, so I think I'm gonna wait and just give a bonus biscuit to a Bellsprout sometime. I don't see any reason to rush it at this point. And then for candy, what is most useful? Is it the Snover candy? Or is it the Celio or the Sfeel candy? I feel like probably Snover candy. People are probably still trying to build up some stock of Snover candy. So we'll send out that today. And let's see, we should hit level 42. 2,275 research XP. That is level 42. Got one of those Poke Biscuits right back with a Dream Cluster and a Recovery Incense. And 3,100 Dream Shards to go along with it. Let's go ahead and... Can't even words today. Let's go ahead and check out this Obama Snow and see if it's any good. See if it can replace our Snover we had. Level 18, which is nice. And modest. So we've got tomato mushroom, which is not terrible. I don't know if I would want the eggs on there or not. I forgot to switch over. Whoops. But all right, let's see how these sub skills work out. Skill level up S is not bad. Could be better, could be worse. Where's it at? There it is. Inventory up S, that's pretty decent. Skill level up M, inventory up L. Okay. Ingredient finder M all the way at level 100 is not fantastic, and modest is not the best. So this is going to be interesting. Let's see. Let's check ingredient count. Yeah, 66. I mean, I think that is still better than what we had with the Snover, but unfortunately that nature is kind of killing it, dropping the speed of help down with no helping speed sub skills to balance it out, which still wouldn't be the ideal scenario. Really the skill level ups are kind of killing it, and we only need 1 inventory up, really. So, like I said, I think it is better than what we had before, so we'll hold on to it. But it unfortunately is not as good as we would like, but it certainly could be useful in the meantime. So let's go ahead and move on over. And I thought I clicked the button, did I not? Probably not. Go ahead and move on and see what else we can get up to today. Another 124 sneaky snacking. Now, since it is Sunday, I did switch the team out for the ingredient team, so that hopefully we can have enough to actually cook some decent meals today. No new news, but what have you guys been up to? 43 reports, that's pretty good. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Only 8 that doubled, interesting. What is that, about just shy of 20%? So we are getting lower than 25% every now and then, but it's seemingly very infrequent, so not that big a deal. Let's go ahead and collect from our ingredient specialists. We got one. There's a skill trigger. Can we get two? No, usually Gengar is pretty good about skill triggers. But we did get plenty of mushrooms to throw in this meal, which is exactly why Gengar's on the team. No skill trigger with Venusaur either. I was kind of counting on that one. What about you? There we go. We're 2 for 4, 50-50, not bad. Give me some tails in there. Didn't look like any tails. But you have a couple tails. Ingredient 88. I think that's himself, actually. And I think that was 3 tails. This is the problem with naming them all very similar names. I have a hard time remembering who's who. But that will definitely be enough for us to make the grilled tail curry. We have a lot of mushrooms, which is good. Only 3 tails shy of being able to make the grilled tail curry all 3 meals today. And then the fiery herbs, I may actually have to swap the Slowbro out for something else that'll bring in some fiery herbs. But for now, I want to, every bit of the cocoa and the mushrooms is going in. That's still going to leave me a little shy. Yeah, too shy. Let's throw in the ginger. That's not that big a deal. Not very helpful. And the honey, if we can hold on to the honey for tomorrow, that could potentially help us get it started on the right foot for next week's meals. And with any luck, this will be extra tasty. Come on, come on. No dice. But it is 20,686, so that is a pretty solid meal. Gonna go a long way towards pushing us into some higher tiers today. And we definitely need all the help we can get. Only sitting at Ultra 3. Cook 17 times. I'm surprised I got it this late. So that put us at 402,000, and we're trying to get, yeah, Ultra 4 will definitely happen if we can get an extra tasty for lunch. I mean, if we're only getting roughly 20k, that only puts us at 440. So we would have to get an extra tasty. Yeah, I don't know if we're hitting Ultra 5, but I think Ultra 4 might be a new milestone for Snowdrop. So if we don't get an extra tasty on Ultra 4, I may hold off on dinner and just save the ingredients for tomorrow, rather than gamble on an extra tasty. We're definitely not hitting Master 1, which is unfortunate. That was the goal, but didn't quite make it. Did get a mission done. Some more dream shards. So yeah, I think we're kind of just stuck where we're at. There's not really anything we can do to ensure Ultra 5 is going to happen. Kind of just trying to run through some scenarios in my head, and I am coming up empty. But we did at least make it to Ultra 4 by the end of the week, so that's pretty good. It's, like I said, I think that's, actually, let's check and see what our highest is so far. For Snowdrop, yeah, Ultra 3, 403,000. We've almost matched our record already, so as long as we're beating our previous record, that's good, because that means we're making progress. But still not quite the Master 1 I had hoped for, but that just lets us know that we need to develop our team even further. So I'm gonna have to look into that. I know we bought out the shop yesterday and got some skill seeds and stuff, but I'm not going to use those just yet. I want to wait until we buy out the shop again and then kind of get an idea of what we can do with all of the resources we get from the shop. But that said, I think that's going to wrap it up today. Before we go, again, Happy New Year to everybody. I hope you have a fantastic time with whatever celebrations you may have or have had if you're watching this in 2024. But again, Happy New Year. I'll see you guys next year. And thanks for coming by and watching the video. Make sure you hit the like button if you liked it, subscribe if you want to see more. And until next time, later dudes.